What is going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody, on today? Welcome once again to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live everywhere on YouTube, Sports Empire Network page. It is on the Big Time Show YouTube page. It is on the Big Time Show Facebook page and my personal Facebook page as well. Also being seen on Twitch and on Twitter Live as we speak now. What is going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody that will show or watch this replay a little bit later on as I talk about what else. Dallas Cowboys, the Lakers put me out, so the Lakers done put me away, so I'm back on my football now. I'm back on the Lakers moved me to the NFL just that quick. So I'm looking forward to picking back up where I left off with the Cowboys as we continue on. Of course, this is not my regular time. My regular time usually is at 3 o'clock on Saturday, but I had some other stuff that I had to do, so I'm coming on now. Do not want to keep you long at all on this great Memorial Day weekend. I know pretty much everybody pretty much is off work, so glad to see you on today for a little Cowboy talk. Although I've been talking about the Lakers, I have not been absent from the Cowboys as usual. I keep my hand on the plow, as they say. And so I know what's going on. And all this talk back and forth. Today on my show, I want to talk about the area of where we usually are around this time. And it's a situation that cannot be avoided. It's a situation that always shows up. But on this occasion, we have got to find out and see if things are a little different. Go into that in just a second. Listen, if you're watching this or whether this is by a replay, if you listen to this by iHeartRadio, Pandora, Google Podcasts, wherever you may be listening to this on your podcast platform, I hope that you would share it. I hope that you would share the content with whoever. Maybe it's a Cowboy fan. I appreciate it. Listen, if you're on Facebook, you notice that you can support the podcast by using the star. If you're on my YouTube page, especially the Big Time Show YouTube page, you will notice that the super chats are there. There's a little dollar sign there. If you want to contribute to that, you can. Once you contribute a super chat there, Don't have to be much. It could be $1, it could be $2, whatever it could be. Uh, Whatever you want. I will stop saying what I'm saying. Read your comment there on the page. I'll see the comment. I'll stop doing what I'm doing. I appreciate it. I don't know who's watching. I think somebody's watching, but somebody ain't said nothing to me, so I can't speak to everybody. So I'll just go ahead and go along with the show for today. Listen, I am convinced that despite what you say about Jerry Jones, despite what you say about Stephen Jones, I had to bite this bullet myself. If they are in charge of building a team, of getting quality players, of getting guys that know what to do on the football field, you at some point would have to admit over the last, I'll say, over the last 8 to 10 years, I'll give it that much, you have no choice but to say that Jerry and Steven, if you want to put the blame there, have done their job. They have built a team. Once you look at the number of Pro Bowls and All Pro that this team has gathered over the last 8 to 10 years, it's kind of hard to say that the Dallas Cowboys, particularly Jerry and Steven, since that's where a lot of our blame goes to a lot, it's kind of extremely hard to say that they have not done the job of putting a team together. I mean, when you go down the list, players past in the last 8 to 10 years, the present players that we had over the last 3 to 4 years, is kind of hard. What's up, Andy Cobbs? I see you. It's kind of hard to say that Cowboys have not had the players. This myth that's saying Jerry gets in the way. The only thing Jerry gets in the way of is that after a game, he gets in front of a microphone, start running his mouth. But he's always done that. When he won Super Bowls, he was doing that. So that ain't really what the real issue is. He's done his job as far as getting the right type of players. It is no question about that. He has done that. Stephen Jones, as bad as we talk about Cap Boy and Cap, always wanting to be, saving every dollar and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, when you look at the roster would say you got some pretty good ball players. Pro Bowlers everywhere. A couple of All Pros. I mean, the defense stacked. Offensively stacked. They have done the job. That, to me, and you may have a different outlook or opinion, I can't blame Jerry for the production. Their job of the organization is to, as far as production goes, is to produce quality players to put on the field and hope to win them a lot of ball games. And hey, Mike, put a lot of players on the field that can produce a lot of wins, produce you a playoff berth. If you're lucky, win the division, and of course, the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. Cowboys have not won the Super Bowl, but lately, since the Mike McCarthy era has begun, the Cowboys, other than the year that Dak was hurt, have been a no question playoff team, without a doubt. That's not nothing to hang your hat up on, but you cannot say that this has not been one of the better teams in the league. I mean, the last 2 years we won 12 games. It's hard to do that. It's hard. Oh, we didn't win the Super Bowl. No, we didn't get to the NFC Championship game. No, all that, however way you want to look at it. No, we didn't. But we won 12 games. That means something. 24 games in the last 2 years. Only the Kansas City Chiefs have won more games there. Of course, regular season, obviously. I'm not going to say that was a great. I see you, Mike. I understand that. There's always more. Even if I know some Cowboy hater gonna say, well, if y'all got all this talent, and we do, And why y'all can't get, to this place and that place? That's fine. That's fair. That's fair. We'll take that. We'll take it. We'll take it. If it's 12, if you win 15 games, you don't win. Just like Andy Cobb over here running his mouth. My partner here, like, ask him about his Eagles. You win all the games, you didn't win the Super Bowl, so you feel like it's a failed year. I'm one that says it's not, because the expectations were not for the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl last year, and it was not for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl as well. Nobody had them winning at the beginning. So, it hurts to lose the big game, no doubt about that. But 15 wins, 14 wins is good. Here come another hater. That's Cedric Morris here, San Francisco 49er fan. They have more level to this. They have more championship expectations than the Cowboys did. Most teams had Frisco making the Super Bowl. Nobody really had Philly winning the Super Bowl last year. Nobody had the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl last year. But please understand, there are steps to this. It's almost an analogy like basketball, where if you're old enough, back in the day, the Bulls had to get through, the Pistons had to get through the Celtics before they finally. It took a couple years for them to get there. Then, of course, it took the Bulls. Took years for them to finally beat the Pistons. There's levels to this thing. Once you get there, you're ready to roll. It's almost kind of like, it's just steps to this thing. And the thing about football is, unless you just a superstar dynasty, kind of slightly like Chiefs are, slightly. It's not on that level of a dynasty. You got to win a few Super Bowls to see yourself a dynasty. But one thing about the Chiefs that we know, that they're going to win at least 13 games every year. They're going to probably make the AFC Championship game every year. And yes, they're going to probably make a few Super Bowl appearances. That's about the closest thing we got right now to a football. I ain't going to say dynasty, but it's close enough. The 49ers have been consistently good the last 4 to 5 years. 3 to 4 years. Philadelphia, no, they got their good year last year. We'll see what they do this year. Cowboys have had some good years, but they just haven't succeeded in the playoffs. What I'm trying to plant and what I'm trying to go with is this. What I'm saying is the Cowboys go through this same thing every year as every other team. The thing with the Cowboys is, if you were to do a check box, do we have solid players? Check. Did we do well in the draft? Check. We always do well in the draft. Will McClay. If you notice the step, Jerry, Steven, I don't care what y'all say. They've done the job because they put the players on the team, quality players. Will McClay, great scout. Great scouting department. No question. All these Pro Bowlers that we've had over the years, a lot of this come from Will McClay. Check. Will McClay has done his job. No question. So when we get to this point right here after the draft, the Cowboys are so excited about the draft. Steven and Jerry have said, we sign off on this player. We'll pick this guy. It's usually a good player. First, second, third, fourth round. It's a good player. We do this every year. And then once Jerry, Steven, and Will McClay have to slide out of the way, now it falls into the hands of our coaching staff. Now the team that has to implement and bring attitude to the team, it's in their hands now. Now the schemes, now the game planning, now it falls into the hand of the coaching. And this is where we kind of fall off. This is where the team roster don't kind of match the coaching. We saw all this sometimes you can just hire a guy and their their resume speaks for itself. You know what you're gonna get out of it. Such as this, which is what I figured was one of the problems. When you say Kellen Moore, number one, my head says finesse. Number one, my head says too cute. When you say Kellen Moore and he's running the offense, I say, well, I know, hey, let's just hope we can score 30, and because it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be, up and down all year, because we're gonna be saying we need to get physical. He wants to be finesse. That's what comes with Kellen Moore. If I said Dan Quinn, however, physical, the first thing you say, okay, go get it type defense. You know what he gonna bring to the table as a coach. You know he's gonna install attitude. You know he's gonna bring real, moxie and swag to the defense. That's what we done seen the last 2-3 years since he's been there. So we know what he brings to the table. We know that. We just hadn't matched up Dan Quinn's physicalness and then Jason Garrett's finesse. It just wasn't a good. Yeah, we scored 30. Yeah, we did. I know, but at some point in the season, whether that's the playoffs or whether we're going against one of these real physical teams, it never quite matched up. It never did, and that's because of what you bring to. When I say a coach like Kellen Moore, you know what he gonna do. We saw it for years. We begged him to get physical. Instead, he want to line up a shotgun. We begged him to throw the running back. He never did it. We begged him to run the ball. Please run. Will you please run it? Zeke Elliott, 12 carries. Tony Pollard, 8 carries. No, that ain't what we were looking for. And that's because he wanted to just gun the ball out all the time. That's Kellen Moore. We saw it, y'all. Y'all know I ain't lying. This is what we saw. So this is the point. We can't lean on that excuse anymore, because he's gone. He's gone now. It's over with. Kellen Moore gone. Now it falls into the hand of Coach Mike McCarthy. This is where you either keep going up, or you stay neutral, or yes, you go down. I've always said, you may not agree with me. That's on you. I've always said that if you're talking about, because they talked about being, a run team last year, they talked about being physical last year, same stuff, and it's just not in Kellen Moore. However, it is in Coach McCarthy. And that part, I do know. It's in Coach McCarthy. It's in him. See, when you play in Green Bay, when you start talking about November and December and all the years he played there, please understand, he had to get physical. The environment in Green Bay dictated that he had to be physical. When you think about the running backs that he had in Green Bay, they wasn't throwing the ball 40, 50 times in November and December, not in Green Bay. He had to implement a physical offensive line, a physical running back, and a attitude to run the football. This is what he had to do. So it's in him. It's in him. And he had the great Aaron Rodgers, even though he was a little bit younger, but still he was great. And Aaron Rodgers wasn't throwing the ball 40 times a game. And no, that wasn't it. I mean, y'all can check the stats out yourself. I've done it, but I ain't about to go over all that. I'm just saying. Now I'm confident. At least to the point where I check the box of Jerry and Steve and saying, hey, let's get us some good players where we can have a good roster and go. Jerry and Steven have done it. I don't care what y'all say. They've been doing it. I checked the box with Will McClay. Will McClay, once again, has done the job in the draft. Him and the scouting department have done the job again. When you look at the draft this year, it's not blue class chip, but trust me, we got some real good players this year. We got some real good players this year. And once again, when you add what the young guys are to what we have as far as veterans go, you can actually be kind of confident and say, okay, that box is checked. That box is checked. Will McClay did his job again. Okay, so we're good on that. That's just my opinion. Now we get to the part where everything now falls into the hand of the coaches. Jerry and Steven done their job. Will did his job. And so based off the years with and some will say, well, wasn't Coach McCarthy there when Kellen Moore was there? But we all know he didn't have full power. We already knew that. He told you that. Coach McCarthy said it himself. Remember what he said? I think it was last year. He said, whoever installs the play, calls the play. So a lot of the things that we were asking for from Coach McCarthy to get in Kellen Moore's butt, well, he couldn't switch it, but he really, he said, whoever installs the play, that's who called him. But we were begging him to get involved. No, that wasn't going to happen. That's not how Coach McCarthy ran his team when he had an offensive coordinator. Remember what I've said, you've been hanging with me for years when Coach McCarthy got hired. One of the first things I said once he got there, I said, how in the world are we going to find out really what Coach McCarthy is all about if you take away his greatest attribute? His greatest attribute was being a play caller. Well, if you take that from him, you taking away the best that he could be. You put it all into Kellen Moore's hand, and so Coach McCarthy was kind of like what I'm looking like right now with these headsets on, but you really ain't doing nothing. You're not in the game day calling on game day. You may go in there and try to make some adjustments at halftime, but all thing you good for is saying we're going for it on fourth down. Punt the ball here, kick the field goal here. I mean, but as far as actual, he wasn't calling no defense. He wasn't calling no offensive plays. So, I mean, really, what was he doing? Really, for real. Now, we don't know what he did in practice. We don't know the meeting, the team meetings and the group meetings. We don't know about that. But all I know is on game day, whatever he did, he didn't do it on game day. So we really don't know what Coach McCarthy really brings. Huh? I'm serious. So, but when you look at what Coach McCarthy is, and you had to go look at game film, watch this. All you have to do is go to Green Bay and look what they did. The West Coast offense was there at Green Bay. The West Coast offense was with Aaron Rodgers, won, I think, an MVP out of that, won a Super Bowl out of that, was consistently a playoff bound every year. He was a West Coast guy where the ball comes out quick. Remember, Aaron Rodgers, a couple years, you had to go by his stats. Aaron Rodgers led the league in completion percentage. Why is that? Because a lot of the times the ball really wasn't necessarily going all the way down the field. They were short passes. A lot of the passes, because of scheme, required a lot of run after the catch, which that was what they did. Aaron Rodgers wasn't just gunning the ball down the field when he was with McCarthy. You had to really just look at it. It was short passing game. Short passing game that was very productive and had a bunch of skilled players on the outside as far as receivers go. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at who our quarterback is, let's look at the resume of Dak real quick. I've always said, and I ain't changed yet, that Dak Prescott will destroy you from a short game passing perspective. It's when he had to throw the ball down the field where the question marks start. And I'm talking about, let me make myself very clear. Well, some of you may not agree with that. I'm not saying he can't throw down the field. What I'm saying, from 0 yards to maybe about 12 to 13 yards, Dak Prescott is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. It's just a shame that all Kellen Moore wanted to run was just a slant and a comeback route. That's it. West Coast offense brings way more than that. We ain't have no rub routes. We ain't have no twin setup or triplet setup or all this kind of stuff. You know, a bunch setup. All this stuff. We ain't never really just had. We just really haven't done it. All of this, we ain't had the 4 wide set. We haven't had the spread offense. When I said, to me, it just depends on where you're playing football. 2 wide receivers on one side, the twins look over there. A single wide receiver on the side and the tight end there. I'm just saying, this is the stuff that Mike McCarthy ran, man. I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction right now. I'm going for it right now. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna go ahead and put my neck out now. Here it is. Dak Prescott will lead the NFL next year in completion percentage. I bet you Dak Prescott completes almost right at 70%, if not more, next year. And yes, he's gonna throw the ball down the field. He's gonna have to throw some some post routes and all. That's gonna happen. That ain't how we gonna move the ball next year. And that is Dak Prescott's strength. That's his strength. And you got now a coach that knows what to do completely. Play action game, running the ball efficiently. I see you, Coach Marv. Let me see what Coach said. Coach said efficient, special level system, achieving max reduction with minimal wasted effort details. That sounds like a short passing game to me. Small elements that collectively constitute things to work. Exactly. So everything is just going to be done. I don't care because we got a guy in Cooks who can run a 4-3, whatever, and all that kind of stuff. No, it's going to be some times for that. Yeah. A Lamb, of course. There's going to be some times for all that. But I'm telling you right now, I already see who's getting ready to go on. Short passing game is going to be in full effect this coming up season. And if that is the case, you're going to get the best out of Dak Prescott. Because in my view, you may look at it differently. I'm saying from 0 yards to about 12 to 13 yards, it's not too many better quarterbacks in this league. As far as percentage goes, that works with Dak Prescott. Better than Dak Prescott. And the truth of the matter is, this is the Dak Prescott. If with what I'm thinking getting ready to happen, this will take him right all the way back to Mississippi State. Because that is what he did at Mississippi State. Short passing game, primarily throwing the tight end. That's what he did. Really won a bunch of receivers that, got gigantic yards from him. And I'm not saying that's not the case, because I still think CD is going to have a gigantic year this year. I think Cook is going to have a good year. I'm just saying, I believe that Dak Prescott this year, because of the system that Mike McCarthy is going to put in and the physicality, I don't want to leave that out, y'all. The physicality, because this ain't going to be no just line up Dak and let him throw 40 times a game. I don't think that's going to happen anymore unless the game dictate that. We go down 30 to 10 and it's the second quarter. Of course, Dak going to throw the ball, of course. But I just don't see it, because I really feel like that this is going to happen this year. That we may be seeing. And it ain't because Dak mad because he had a bad year and all that. It ain't about that. It's just sometimes the right system will bring out the best in a player. That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes it's just like next year. Okay, let me prove my point. All right. The Chargers, all right, the Chargers have Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore now has Justin Herbert. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Justin Herbert is gonna have his greatest year with the Chargers next year. Why? Because of Kellen Moore. Because Justin Herbert's style fits Kellen Moore's system. It does. I'm sorry. I'm thinking he's gonna have a masterful year next year. I ain't saying the Chargers gonna win anything, but I'm just saying I believe Justin Herbert is gonna have a gigantic year. If I just really believe it fits. That's the kind of quarterback he like. And he really can open up his little playbook and all that kind of stuff. I really believe you're gonna see that. I don't think you're just gonna see slants and comeback routes next year with the Chargers next year. Let me put it that way. I don't think so. Because I believe Kellen Moorfield really believe he got the quarterback that can throw every and anything. He didn't open it up like that with that. He didn't. Y'all know that. And maybe because he was scared too. How about that? Or maybe, hey, he'll never admit it, but maybe he didn't think Dak was capable of doing all that. That's just my perspective. And I believe that now, with Coach McCarthy there, somebody who knows football. Let me throw one more thing out. Let's don't underestimate the presence of Coach Schottenheimer. A person that knows how to work a quarterback, a person that knows how to. I don't know what his role gonna be because again, Coach McCarthy said whoever installs the plays is the one that's calling the plays. Based off that, I don't know what Coach Schottenheimer going to do as far as Sunday goes. Now, his impact may be there for Monday through, Saturday. We'll never know his role completely because we ain't going to be in the meetings. But I just feel like his presence there because his track record speaks for itself. Coach Schottenheimer is a good coach, real good coach, very good coach actually. But now, Coach McCarthy is riding on the throne now. I'm expecting big things from Dak Prescott because I believe that the system is going to bring out best. Now, if you know anything about Schottenheimer, let me just say this: he was with Seattle. He's been with a few teams, but he's with Seattle. One thing about the Seattle Seahawks. Don't make no difference who their quarterback was. Whether it's Russell Wilson, Geno Smith. One thing you know the Seattle Seahawks gonna do and can do is run the football. Brian Schottenheimer had a whole lot to do with that. One Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's more of a defensive player. But Pete Carroll. It's because Schottenheimer. So if you remember all the Rashad Pennies and all these guys that came out of Seattle as far as running the football, Schottenheimer had a lot to do with it. So you got a coach there that at least knows how to construct a running game. But Mike McCarthy does that as well. So it's not. I'm saying this is what I'm saying that for the first time in a few years, once we check the boxes of what we did in the offseason, check, Jared check. Steven check, Will McClay check. We even got a blessing this year. Something we usually don't do. We got big trade. Gilmore. I mean, that check. Without a doubt. Kept the team immediately. Draft. Check. Great draft. Another good draft for us. Bam. Now we get to the part where I've always said we had problems. Because something in OTAs and training camp just wasn't. That dog that I'm looking for, I believe is there now. Because of who we got as a coach. I believe that. So I'm really feeling better, to say that, about I'm not worried about the defense at all. I've already put it out there. I've already said that I believe that this defense has the potential. It's going to happen. This defense has the potential to be a top 5 defense this year. I believe it. I believe that they have the potential to be a top 5 defense this year. And if you have a top 5 defense on your team, top 5 defense, then certainly if you don't take much, you're gonna win a lot of ball games playing that type of defense. But if you got an offense that can score, and we can, then we're gonna be a pretty good hard team this year. I don't care who it is. Okay. Now, I appreciate all y'all coming there. Listen, I'm not going to. I know y'all see the call-in line because I'm gonna have to get out of here in a minute, so I'm not gonna do the call-in line. But if you do the, I can't see right here. I can see the super chat if you put it there. I can't see those that are putting stars there. If you're on Facebook, so I'm not gonna do the call-in line there today. I apologize. Y'all catch me on Monday. And then I'll probably open it up then. So I apologize for that. But you can put the chat there and I can comment on your comment. But I'm feeling good. I'm impressed by what I've been hearing. Everybody's always excited during this time. Everybody always gonna say the right thing. Everybody always going to, do all that. I get all that. But it's a different vibe right now. And I've been a Cowboy fan long enough to know, and a Cowboy watcher and listener. It's just a real good vibe right now. And I really believe that it is really as simple as Coach McCarthy got the reins. We just got to see what's going on. And that's what we have to do. I really believe that we're better in the coaching room than we've been in the last for complete coaching room. Let me put it that way. Better than what we've been probably the last 4 or 5 years. That's my thoughts. It may not be yours. Then of course, we got to see it. So I ain't just going all in. We got to see it, and then we'll be able to know for sure. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. See you, Coach Mar. I saw that. Let's see what's going on here. You're right, Coach. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on. Well, don't worry about the super chat today. I got to straighten it out. I'll see it. Let me change my thing here. Coach says, let me see. D-Ship, you address 3 of your D-Ship said you address 3 of your weakest spots. Gilmore, Mozzie, and Damone will break out. I agree 100%. That's all defense. That's why I say we're going to have probably top 5 defense. D-Ship says, you think Dak sounded aggravated with McCarthy in his interview? No. I don't think he sounded like that. You can expect, contention, even though I'm not saying it was. You can expect that now because you're implementing the offense. You're trying to see what's best. You even heard them talk about that. Coach McCarthy wants to know what he feels like. What Dak feels is real good and what's not, and all that kind of stuff. That's to be expected. Joe, hey Joe, I see you in there. Joe says, only thing that can mess up our offense will be offensive line staying healthy, 100%. And that's always the case with us. All we can do is hope for that. If they can stay healthy, we're gonna have a real good football team. I will say that. The question that everybody have now, since you just said the offensive line, the question that everybody has now is really because it's kind of looking like Steele won't be ready for week 1. Steele will not be ready, so the talk is that Tyron Smith, God bless his heart, Tyron Smith will be our right tackle again. and Tyler Smith would be the left tackle. The question is left guard. I'm gonna put it out there. I think we have the answer on the inside already, and I believe that is Farrakhan. That's my choice for left guard. They may think of something else, but I think Farrakhan does well. I just think he does. I don't think we got time to be experimenting with ball. And, I just don't think we don't have that time. We got to jump out on. We got to jump out quick. Hey, Shane says we still have not addressed the field goal kicker position. Special team needs more emphasis. I'm gonna be honest with you, Shane. It's just me. I may be wrong. Of course, it's just my opinion. So, in the case of that, one of the things about the player cuts that will happen that last preseason week. See, we're gonna go in, with a kicker for the preseason game. But if there's somebody they really like and they get cut from these cuts, everybody's going to have to cut down from 92 to 52. There's going to be a lot of kickers in there. I'm just saying that might be the spot where you're going. We ain't trading with no kicker. We ain't, we're not, you can go get a veteran who people ain't thought about for a minute. There's kickers out there. The Cowboys ain't put the rush on it. And there's going to be some kickers that's going to get cut. Especially those kickers that teams that have established kickers. See what I'm saying? Just because they didn't make the team don't mean they're not good. It's just like who really gonna make Baltimore's team? Justin Tucker there is your kicker. I mean, you ain't carrying no 2 field goal kickers. So whoever they gonna have kicking, in preseason, they're not gonna make the team. It don't mean they're not good. It just you got Justin Tucker. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think that might be a way that we can address it. And who knows? Whoever they have there now, of course we don't know. They got all season and practice to impress. That's just the truth. So that's what I feel about it. Greg says don't underestimate the old line this season. I'm not. If they can stay healthy, that's the thing with us. Is they have to stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, we got a shot, a real good shot. But I'm more impressed, as I said before. I'm impressed of the coaching room or the way that it's set up. That's big. That's big. And we got a coach in there. I don't care what y'all say about Coach McCarthy. Here is the bottom line that you just can't take away. I don't care what era that you want to say it is. I don't care if you say because he had the quarter. I don't care. This is what is on his resume as a play caller. He won the Super Bowl. And you can't, for a whole season, as a play caller, he led his team by calling the proper and right plays and took them all the way, and they won the Super Bowl. So you can't say he don't know what he doing. You can't say he don't. Well, you can't say he don't know what he doing. Oh, I can't go with that. He won the Super Bowl. And you can't take that from him. So he knows what to do. He knows how to construct the offense. He knows how to play call. He knows what he's looking for. He knows how to find the weaknesses in the defense. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get the proper matchups. He knows how to set things up. He knows how to scheme. He knows how to scheme against a deep. He knows. He won the Super Bowl. He won. I don't care what y'all say. You say, well, he got fired. Well, every coach leave eventually. Shoot. We fired Jimmy Johnson after winning 2 straight Super Bowls. Good Lord. I mean, come on. A long tenured coach ain't really, everybody ain't low on no more like that. One thing, other thing that he did do, if you want to go that route, he kept Green Bay in the playoffs every year. Every year. It was just some teams that you knew, at the end, you ain't even formulated the roster yet. You knew Green Bay was going to be in the playoffs every year. We just now getting to the point where we can make the playoffs consecutive years. We just now getting to that point. And that has to do with Coach McCarthy. The program is there. It's steps involved. I know we want the Super Bowl. I get it. I want it too, bad. Sometimes you got to crawl before you run. Got to be patient. And even though some of these guys are getting a little bit older, it's steps to the process. I think we're ready to make a step. I think we are. I don't know what that means. But I think we're going to have a good year. Will we win 12 plus games? I don't know. Because it really don't make no difference about how you feel at the end. It's about how hot you are getting at the end. We all know that. We've been saying that for years. A team could only have 8 wins and about 6 or 7 wins to get hot at the end of the year. And before you know it, they're in the Super Bowl. So we've seen that. So I don't know how y'all feel about it. I'm feeling pretty good at this step in the process of us getting to training camp. And again, as I've said, Jerry, Steve, and Will McClay have done their job. It's usually right here is when things go slowly but surely downhill because of the coaching, the attitude that is implemented, the dog that's put in there, the attitude, the boxing, the swag. This is when you get this attitude. This is when you go get it. It's when you set the tone. The tone don't get set in week 1. The tone gets set right now. OTA, training camp next. This is when the tone gets set. Not week 1. Tone gets set now. And I think that we are in a good position. All right. I'm gonna wait to see. I see some of y'all comments. Like I said, I'm not gonna open up the line today. Greg says I see on offense about 30 plus carries running the ball, passing between 25 to 35 per game. A lot of that gonna be depending on Greg how the game is going. If somebody jump on us for a minute and it's late in the game and they on us, then they might change. But I don't know about that 30. I don't know about that 30 time a game. Only reason why I said that is because how one thing that isn't set. I know Pollard is out there for OTA, but is he gonna be ready for week 1? Jury's still out on it. Man got hurt in January. We that'll be what when September roll around. That'll be 9 months. Is his knee really ready? You know what I'm saying? So if that be the case, then who's our starter? Is it Ronald Jones starting it off? Dude probably be our number 2. Leak maybe our 3. Maybe push Rico up to 4 or whatever. Do you really trust the running backs that well? Much to run 30 times a game between the 2 or 3. I don't know if McCarthy gonna do all of it. And then let's be honest, y'all. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I see you, Shane. I'm gonna put your comment up in just a second. Let's be honest, y'all. When you have a CD Lamb, a Brandon Cook, and potentially a healthy Michael Gallup is your top 3 receivers, let's just be honest, ball gonna go in there. Now, it may not go in there 40, 50 times. Let's be realistic. That is a strength. You got to exploit your strength. The wide receiver room, actually, the wide receiver at this point, I feel is stronger than the position of the running back right now. Now, that don't mean we supposed to line up a shotgun and all that. I ain't saying that at all. I'm just saying, right now, as the team is constructed, the wide receiver room, to me, is stronger than the running back. Too much unknown in the running back. We don't know when Tony Pollard will he be ready at week 1, or will it take a few weeks before we finally let him loose? What does Ronald Jones bring? We don't know what Deuce. We figure what Deuce Vaughn can do, but I mean, how much? One thing is a bunch of unknown. I know about Brandon Cook. I know about C.D. Lamb. I got a few questions about Michael Gallup, but the strength is in our strength is also our tight end room. I think tight ends are great. Gonna be pretty good. Hey Terry, Joe said Deuce Vaughn would be our leading rusher because I don't believe Pollard would be 100% healthy yet. Could be the case, but again, is he going? I don't think Deuce really gonna be our number 2. I don't think Deuce gonna be our number 2 running back. I think Deuce gonna be our number 3. I believe he's gonna get some time on the field, but I don't. He may get a little bit more time than usual if Tony is not right at the beginning of the year. That's the other big question mark. It's really gonna be Tony and Tony Pollard, and and how good is Ronald Jones gonna be? All right. I don't know about that one, Joe. Shane says, what are your thoughts on Hopkins getting released by the Card? Was there something going on that they flat out released and they didn't get anything for him? Well, they didn't want to pay it, and they took $22.6 million in dead cap on it. Everybody knew that he was going to be released. Everybody knew that because they weren't going to keep him, and they tried to trade him. They wanted too much. Nobody was not going to pay that price, so they had no choice but to release him. They weren't going to pay him that money. What are my thoughts about it? I think the Cowboys, part of me want to say stack the deck as much as possible. That's what everybody else do. I would love to see. I would like to see it, but I ain't messed up about it. I think you add a DeAndre Hopkins to the team. I think it messes things up because you're really inviting Dak Prescott to throw the ball 40 times. There's no way in the world that you would bring a DeAndre Hopkins, have a C.D. Lamb on your team, and a Brandon Cook on your team, and then we talk about we're going to run the ball 35 times a game. It ain't going to happen. If you bring a DeAndre Hopkins in, then what's going to happen is Dak Prescott about to throw the ball 35 times a game because it would be a strength of your team. Do I want that? No, I do not. But I want to stack the deck. I want to stack the deck. I want to. Bringing in a DeAndre Hopkins does not hurt your team. It just hurt the philosophy of your team. The play calling. It will hurt the play calling of what you really want to do. You want to run the ball. You bring a guy like that in and pair him up with CD and Brandon Cook, you're going to pass the football if you bring them in. So all this talk about being physical, and you still can be physical, but I don't see it. I think Cowboys were set once they made the trade for Brandon Cooks, and the idea of having Lamb, Cook, and a healthy Michael Gallup, that they were done. Plus, plus y'all, you gotta use your common sense. Let's go deeper. There's nowhere in the world they're bringing DeAndre Hopkins in. See, that's why you heard all the other teams, because all that means is going to be a bidding war. And DeAndre ain't going to be cheap. Now, the highest paid player, wide receiver on our team this year is Michael Gallup. Not CD Lamb, it's Michael Gallup. So what if you get into a bidding war? You do remember we got to pay CD Lamb, right? So if you're gonna come in and give DeAndre Hopkins $10+ million, what you think? What you think you got to pay CD? You don't want to go that route. You know, it look good on Madden. You know, your PlayStation and the Xbox. We don't need. Yeah, I'm like Mitchell. We don't need him. Hey, JD, I see JD is right. Don't forget about these guys. We got to find out if Toba can play in Fiego. When you bring in a DeAndre Hopkins, you stunt the growth of one of our young receivers. So, no, I don't want him. Now, if you would have had the chance to get him before Brandon Cooks, then I would have been cool with it. Like if they would have went all in on DeAndre and didn't even have thoughts about bringing Cooks in, then I would have been cool with it. I would have been cool with that. But I'm cool with Brandon Cook. See what I'm saying? So, no, I don't think that just happened. It's just a bunch of press that I saw everybody talking about the Cowboys, number 2. I always remember, y'all, all these people saying the Cowboys are first on this list and the Cowboys are number 2 and all that kind of stuff. You ain't heard Jerry Jones say it. You ain't heard the Cowboys say that. Don't get mad if we don't even offer them, if we don't even bring them in. Don't get mad at us. We've made up our mind how we gonna roll. We made a decision that we're gonna invest in drafting draft picks for Brandon Cook and pair him up with Lamb, and we're gonna be We're gonna be good. A healthy Michael Gallup, exactly, Coach. I don't even think they would even entertain it. I think that the perfect place for him to go is somewhere like Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. He said something like Buffalo. I saw Buffalo. I don't know. No, I don't know. I just know he ain't gonna be with Dallas. Not gonna be with us. I don't even think they will even bring him in to just sit him down at the table and talk to him or nothing like that. It's too much. It's too much. I ain't saying this. Well, I ain't gonna say it's too much. I'm just saying to do what Mike McCarthy wants to do offensively, a guy like that guy coming in would ruin the plan because you would have to pass the football. You would. You had a DeAndre Hopkins and CeeDee Lamb and a Michael Gallup and a Fiego and a Jalen Tolbert and a Cavante Turpin. I mean, come on now. You got to the tight end. Come on now. No. Dak Prescott throw the ball 45 times. Y'all be crying all year long. Y'all be crying all year long. You can't add a guy like that and then think that we just gonna run it down people's throat. No, sir. I wouldn't do it. That's the strength of my team. That's matchup nightmares everywhere. Who you gonna double if you add a DeAndre Hopkins to this team? Who you gonna double? Who you got to double somebody, but who you gonna double? If you double CD, DeAndre gonna kill you. I just said just those two. I ain't talking about tight ends and somebody in the slot. Who you gonna double? Yeah, it'll be a matchup nightmare. I get y'all that. I'm not knocking it. But it will kill what the real game plan is for the Cowboys. And that is running football this year. So no, I don't believe it. Coach Breedlove said he's going to the Jets. Well, the only thing I say it'll be a good spot, but the only thing about that, Coach, is that when you bring in a DeAndre, then it's gonna stunt the growth of the two good receivers that they have now over there. I mean, they got they got Wilson and the other guy. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but I ain't no Jet fan, but I know who he is. I'm saying they got good receivers over there already. You bring a DeAndre in, you gonna slow somebody down. Terry said Deuce Vaughn is going to start as a gadget guy and carve out a special spot with 4 or 5 explosive plays. Yeah, I believe that Deuce Vaughn will do what Kellen Moore didn't do with Tony Pollard in his first few years. That's the game plan. That was the game plan for Tony Pollard when he first got it. He never got the ball. JD got along with him. What you say, JD? JD said, "What's up, big time? I really feel good about this offseason, not because I'm a diehard fan. Really feel good in a lot of areas with the talent and depth. Our interior D line is finally a strength. Two questions I have. See what you said here. The two questions, because it's so long, I had to take it off. The two questions I got on this offseason is, how will the left side of our old line look long term this year? Who would be the kicker? Not bad. That's my only questions, though, compared to previous years. I know it'd be an all-out war in the East this year. We got all the smoke. I answered that earlier, JD. On the left side, I think it's set. Terrence Steele does not look like, from what I've been hearing from a lot of my other podcast brothers and just kind of listening to Brian Broaddus and stuff. I've heard that we can't bank on Terrence Steele being ready, and if that is the case, the word is kind of like Tyron Smith will be at right tackle. That's where he's taking snaps already in an OTA so far. The plan also is and he's taking snaps here at left tackle, which is Tyler Smith. You asked about the left side. Personally, I said earlier, I think Farrakhan ought to start at left guard, but that's where the kind of real competition is. They got a kid that they brought, Charmer or whatever. There's the ball moving to guard. I've heard about that. You got Collins, who will be back, who I thought was playing outstanding before he got hurt. Collins, who could play guard. Of course, you got the kid that they drafted. You don't expect him to be a starter. Kid that they drafted out of North Carolina. All that. That's what's going on. But I think Farrakhan, who started, I think 3 games last year, and was moving people. I think that he would be a real good fit there. What else you asked? You said who would be the kicker? I answered that by saying JD. Obviously, they got a kicker in the camp right now on OTAs, and I'm quite sure they got whoever is there. They got their eye on them. We won't hear nothing about that. They get to practice with them. I think one thing that we got to be looking for, JD, to answer it again, I believe that, that last week of preseason, the one thing about when you cut a kicker, you don't need a playbook. See what I'm saying? Every team will have to go from 90 to 53. And I'm saying in those cuts from every team, there's going to be some pretty good kickers. If we are struggling in the preseason, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those guys, it's kind of like I'm saying it's going to be, because when you talk about, I'll use this as an example, JD, when I say it like Baltimore, well, nobody's taking Justin Tucker's position as a field goal kicker. Nobody. So whoever the extra kicker that they bring in for preseason, no team carries 92, 2 or 3 kickers on a roster. So I'm quite sure everybody knows who the kickers are, better than we do. I wouldn't be surprised, if it got to that point. Uh, right now, and see that's the downside of having the big roster. Like let's just say for instance that the first 2 weeks in preseason, whoever our kicker is perfect. But in that last preseason game, he missed every field goal. Well, that's the only kicker that you really see. And you can't get nobody unless you get somebody off the street. Kind of like what Mitra says. He's talking about Robbie Gould there. Those guys are available. But are you going to pull the trigger on getting those guys in now? Or you going to wait until see, you know what I'm saying? That's the only downside of keeping 90 players for 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden have to cut everybody. So if one of your guys is the kicker, now you're in a mad scramble to trying to find a kicker for week 1. See what I'm saying? See, that's all it took with Money Mayer. With Mayer. Mayer had a good year last year to the last couple of weeks. And it was all in his head. And everybody saying we need to get a kicker. See what I'm saying? So if you go fine for them first 2 weeks in preseason, who says that if he missed 1 or 2 in the last preseason game, our Cowboy Nation gonna say like, oh Lord, here we go. Oh my God, we need another kicker. That's what we saying. NBA Cypher, I see you. What's up, man? I see you. What's going on? Joe says, I'm sorry. Let me get to Coach Breedlove. Coach Breedlove said thoughts about the predicted records for the boys is even at 10-7. I don't even predict, Coach, because I don't know who we lining up with. I can't. It's too many things gonna go on before we have to do that. You can say 10-7 now, but if that get hurt, I guarantee you they're gonna say 4-12 or something like that. See what I'm saying? Let me know when I see who we line up with in week 1, and that's our presumed roster. Then I can give a better analysis of that. We got 90 players on the team. We don't know who's gonna make the team. I can't predict that. I think we're gonna have a good year though. I just can't say what. One injury to one of our linemen, the wrong lineman will cost us. See what I'm saying? Which leads to the question Joe says, I haven't heard nothing about Steele not being ready. West Coast said that Steele will be ready for the season open. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard it. One thing about it, let's say this. He might be ready, and I guarantee you this. For a person like Steele, for a person like Tony Pollard, for sure, I would even throw in Michael Gallup. And some of the guys ain't going to play no preseason game. Week 1 would be their first real action, except the action that they get in practice. There's some guys that don't need to play in preseason. Tyron Smith definitely don't need to play no preseason game. No. I doubt Dak didn't play last year, preseason. Tony Pollard, I guarantee you, will not be playing in preseason this year. Zach Martin, why? Why do we need why? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's some guys that just don't need to play in preseason. So a lot of this stuff we ain't gonna know until week 1. Anybody excited? What's going on, man? Again, JD says, I'm just saying. I know if Tyron would be probably get hurt at some point, of course. Just wonder who will be on that line. OTAs and preseason will determine this, but it's definitely a question at the moment. I got a better question there, JD. Let's say, for instance, Tyron Smith stays healthy and Terrence Steele stays healthy. We leaving Terrence Steele on the bench? That ain't good. I thought Terrence Steele was on his way to the Pro Bowl if he didn't got hurt. He was dominant, man. He was dominant. You see what I'm saying? And just because of loyalty to Tyron Smith, you're going to keep him in when we all know Terrence Steele is a real good right tackle. That's what I'm saying. So That's the real question to me. What happens if Steele is ready for week one? Let's just say he is ready. So where is he gonna play? He shouldn't be on the bench. In my opinion, he's one of our best five. And at this point, I'll say this. At this point, Terrence Steele is a better right tackle. Don't get me wrong, y'all. He's a better right tackle than Tyron Smith. And if that's the case, then maybe you move Tyron Smith back to left tackle. Back to left tackle. Then you move Tyler Smith like we did last year to left guard, which he can play. And that's your best five. If he's ready. Terrence Steele. JD said just need to know who the kicker is. We need some consistency there. I agree, but I think that's what they got their eye on now. We don't have many quote unquote weak spots on this team. I'm quite sure they are doing that. Coach Breedlove just said we just saw a good kicker from Birmingham with the USFL making 55 yards. That's a great point, Coach. Because see, that's where we got Kevontae Turpin. Kevontae Turpin was the MVP of the USFL, came right in, didn't stop playing football at all. The boy played football the whole year. Came in, was a Pro Bowl kick returner this first year there. So it's gonna be some kids that's in the USFL that's gonna make the NFL. And kicking is one way that it can happen. So I agree, Coach. I'm quite sure that guys got their team, NFL team, are watching the USFL right now. I believe that. That's a great point, Coach. Great point. There's some kickers that are in the USFL that are gonna get a shot. They're gonna put their USFL jerseys up and go straight to training camp. I believe that. JD says Mayor deserves at least to be brought in camp. Hopefully a veteran compete with him. They may have given up on Mayor JD. They might have given up on him. He can kick it. But it's obvious that when he got it in his head, he was shaking that. Can't be shaky at the kicker. That's what got him out of here the first time. It was the same thing. Terry says run the ball, take the ball out of Dak's hand, 18 throws a game, 20 of overtime. That ain't gonna happen, Terry. I see what you're saying though. You want a more balance, but you even want more running the pass. Dak ain't gonna throw the ball 18 times. You're gonna get it between 22, 25 times a game on a day. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. He gonna throw it more than 18. I guarantee that. Unless we run it for 250 yards a game. I'm not saying it can't happen, but got stuff we got to do on that. All right, y'all. I ran through all the comments, I believe. Unless y'all want to keep talking. I'm sorry I'm not opening up the lines tonight. Coach Marv made me. I got to get on my YouTube. See why my super chat ain't showing. I got to get that right. Quick. But I appreciate you guys. Hey, I'm back. The Lakers put me back. Look, the Lakers took me out. They put me back to the Cowboys. So yeah, I am. Lakers pushed me back to the Cowboys. I was on the road with the Lakers for a while. I shifted the big time show to the Lakers. I look, y'all see me. Y'all keep y'all on my background here. The Lakers. Look, this is what y'all saw. That's what y'all was seeing right there. See, I was rolling. Then they got swept. I'd be done. I'm still mad about that. I don't even want to talk about that right now. It's just ridiculous. But putting me here, so I'm back with the Cowboys. I kept my eye on things. Now I see what's going on. It's showtime, yeah. All right. Appreciate all of those that joined in. Appreciate all of those that are on Podbean. Thank you so much. J-Lo, Victoria, Marcus Gill, Anthony Vargas. I can't pronounce his other one. Something Empire, ID, Code Foul, all you guys, and Kim, Kitty to Karen, whoever you are. Thank you for jumping in on Podbean. Been a minute. I'm back. I'll see you guys later this week. Look, I'm almost out through working for the year at school, so I'll be with you guys a whole lot more over the summer, and that will include even in the daytime as well. For those that don't know, I work at a school. I'm the dean of discipline at my school where I work. And obviously, since the school year is almost out, we got another week left of school here. We are a charter school. Once I get done with that, I will be with you guys a whole lot more for the summer. That includes the daytime. Who knows? I might do 2 shows a day, depending on what's going on. I'll be with you guys a whole lot more. So my time will change a little bit, and there won't be a set time. What I promise to do is I'll put a notification. If you follow me on my pages, you'll see that I'll make sure I put in ample enough time to let you know when I'm going on, and that way you'll be aware of it. All right. Appreciate everybody that's for hanging with me. Hey, Joe, over there in Italy. Appreciate you. Joe already know what to do. I need somebody else to do it. Put your hands together. Y'all know what's coming. Y'all know how we are. We groove our way out of here. Same way we came in. We groove our way out. Go ahead, somebody put a clap emoji up for me real quick. Somebody put it up. Y'all know it's coming. Don't leave until you groove with me. Come on, forgive me. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all taking too long. Y'all know how I do it here. Don't leave Joe by himself on the dance floor. Come on here. Come on here. Who else? Come on, put it in there real quick. Y'all being stingy with the hand clap. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we party and groove on where my job is to make you bob your head when you get out. And I bob your head to the beat. Don't look like they're gonna leave you on the floor by yourself, man. I don't like that. I really don't like it. I got a computer here. I wish I could do it. I don't know how to put the emojis on there. All right, Joe, I appreciate you. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for hanging with me. We'll see you possibly Monday. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Big Time Show.